Hey folks, meet Daisy.
Hello.
Today we're going to build the simplest possible mono synth using the Daisy seed, and it sounds fat. This is also my first time using the Daisy seed on a project, so I'll also share some of my first impressions as someone who has used a bunch of microcontrollers. How does she stack up? Let's get started. Here is our Daisy seed mono synth, and this is the entire build. I just plunked it onto a breadboard and attached this audio cable I made, connecting it to the Daisy seed's built-in DAC. If you're making audio projects like this, I do recommend Frankensteining a cord like this just for convenience. And really, hardware-wise, this is all we absolutely need. I'll go over the finer details about software installation and MIDI configuration in a bit, but first let's hear some of the presets. Sending MIDI program changes from our DAW, we can select different built-in presets. There's a bit of a learning curve when installing projects to the Daisy, but fortunately Electrosmith has put together some great tutorials to get you started. The first thing you should do when you get this board is follow the tutorials for running the Daisy seed example project. This will help you get everything configured and walk you through uploading your code to the board. Daisy seed relies on two libraries with internal APIs, and if you don't have those added to your project, it will not compile. I hit this issue initially when I tried downloading the examples project instead of cloning it, which pulls the libraries at the same time. Again, follow the tutorial closely and you shouldn't have any problems. Rather than using the Arduino IDE, the standard way for writing Daisy applications is VS Code. For our mono synth, every element from our oscillators, envelopes, and filters comes straight from the built-in libraries similar to the audio library for Teensy. We can control these parameters from our MIDI controller where we have amplitude and filter envelopes, filter cutoff, resonance, and envelope amount, a mix control for two oscillators plus a sub-oscillator, then we have a detune amount for our unison oscillators, two waveform selection knobs, a overdrive knob, and the mod wheel controls pulse width. We could break out additional parameters for the synth, but I ran out of MIDI knobs. Now the thing that allows us to keep this build so minimal is the Daisy seed's built-in DAC and support for MIDI over USB. The audio comes out of the Daisy into our Frankenstein cord, into our audio interface, then into Logic. and our MIDI controller is connected to the computer and it's sending MIDI messages over USB from our DAW to the Daisy. This setup will be different based on your DAW or computer, but how I do it in Logic Pro is I create an external MIDI track where I can pass the MIDI data to our Daisy. Another option would be to create a DIN MIDI circuit, but this just makes things plug and play once you get it all configured. For USB MIDI, there are USB hosts and USB devices. You always need some USB host, and once you have that host connection, you can send MIDI through the host to your other MIDI devices. This is all two-way communication, but for USB MIDI, if you want two devices to speak to each other, you need a host. I'll be honest, I expected the Teensy to blow the Daisy Seed away, but now that I've tried them both, I think they're both great and they each have their own distinct vibe. If I were making a polyphonic synthesizer, I think I would still stick with the Teensy for its performance. But for a simple build that leverages C++ DSP, I might start with the Daisy. Either of these boards are head and shoulders above the other cheap microcontrollers out there, or you can go to the higher end where you're at the Raspberry Pi Zero. At that point, you're just basically writing a computer application, and I do that for a day job, so I don't really want to do it here. And on the topic of cheap audio design microcontrollers, there's this whole drama going on right now between Adafruit and SparkFun. The TLDR is that some personal beef between Adafruit and SparkFun got out of hand, and now SparkFun, the exclusive distributor of Teensy, is no longer supplying boards to Adafruit. Adafruit, in turn, is saying that they will release a $10 open source version of a Teensy compatible board codenamed Freency. This board's going to be using the Raspberry Pi's RP2350 board, and based on the performances I've seen from that chip on the Raspberry Pi Pico, I don't see how it could hold a candle to the Teensy, but we'll have to wait and see. All in all, neither the Teensy or Daisy Seed is better or worse. They're just different. But once you've got the structure in place, Daisy Seed has some really great APIs you can use in your applications. Since we're receiving MIDI messages from Logic, we can also just play back a MIDI track and turn the knobs in real time for some on-the-fly articulation. And that's it. Let me know what you think about this little synth, and also if you know of some other awesome Daisy Seed projects, let me know down in the comments, and we'll go get after them. And
feed the algorithm.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.